Hello everyone, happy fun Friday. Dr. Mundi here. I am just driving from the post office. I tell you what, today is one of the most happy days of my life. I'm so happy and excited and grateful, and it makes me begin to reflect on the things that my grandmother blessed me with. She told me, and I am seeing all those things coming to fruition in my life. You know, when I was struggling as a child to acquire an education which was denied me because of my gender, I fought tooth and nail to get that education. And my father wouldn't let me. Rather, my father forced me into marriage at the age of 11. And my grandmother fought tooth and nail. She gave up her life. She was ready to die, sacrifice her life for me to get that education. And my father almost killed her. But my grandmother, because I was banned from going to my grandmother, to any relative, she vowed to my father that if you stop her from coming to me, you cannot stop her from going to the stream to fetch water. If you stop her from coming to me, you cannot stop her from fetching firewood. I will see her there. If you stop her from coming to me, I will do whatever it takes to see my granddaughter, because that's my blood. And that's exactly what she did. When this happened, my father sent me away from home. The bush became my home for 3 months and more. And hunger, another thing, infested me. But for some reason, I was not even afraid. When I was living in the bush, I slept in the bush. And I had some good parents, mothers from the village, who knew what was going on, who knew the abuse of my father towards my mother and her children, particularly me. And these women were determined to bring me food in the bush. And some of them will wake up so early, very early in the morning, and they will bring me food so that my father doesn't see them. And I lived like that. During the day, I would wander around. I would hear the sweet voices, playful voices of children going to school, but I was in the bush. And during the day, I would wander around looking for palm kernels to crack and eat, looking for fruits, guavas, whatever I could lay hands on to eat. And then I would go to the stream and drink water and came back. But while in that bush, I wasn't even afraid. But things began to download in my head that I don't know. It must have been from the Almighty God. And I began to think of ways in which I would get that education. And so, this came to my mind that during the day, I should stealthily walk to the road when the kids are coming back from school, because I could hear them. They were playing, they were laughing, they were doing all kinds of things. I began to ask myself, why me? Why? The other parents, they love their children. Why me? And their female children too. Why? Why not me? Why can't my father allow me to go to school? And so that is how I was so determined to get that education more than anything else. And one day, when these students were coming back from school, I just went towards the road and I asked them to come to the bush with their books to teach me. And they came. They were happy. From that point on, they will always come, because they knew now where I was living, in the bush. They will come, they will teach me. And one day, they said that they are going to watch a movie at the home of the only TV owner in the village who used a generator. And they asked me to come with them. I was afraid, but I went. I went with them. And I watched this movie. It looks like it must have been the arrangement of divine intervention. I went and I watched the movie. It talked about Freedom and Success in the United States of America. And I was determined more than ever before that I am going to go to America. I'm going to walk and go to America and get that education. And for some reason, somehow, by the grace of Almighty God, I found myself in the United States, where I'm speaking right now. Now I furthered my education. Before now, I was struggling to go to secondary school. But my grandmother and my mother came together, and I got the education that I deserve. I got the high school. It wasn't enough. I cried. I did whatever it took me to do. I was doing little businesses. I was doing all kinds of things so that I can raise money to go to school. And I did. I became the very first female child in my village of less than 100 people with a bachelor's degree. That is amazing. That is something that I will never forget. And so now I found myself in the United States, and now I furthered my education. I got my master's, and then recently I got my PhD, and I'm still the very first female child in that little village with this kind of education. And it's not just classroom education. I've been attending webinars. I've been doing other things, traveling out of state to attend classes and other things. And sometimes I go with my son so that he can begin to learn to do his own business. He can begin to learn what is called ownership, freedom, and success. And so that is what happened. And you know, for some reason, I become the founder, one of the founders of Unpassive, which is an artificial intelligence company and high-tech company that is uplifting humanity from the heart, with its foundation built upon one of its products called Oh Bless. And now one of their products too is called Oh Women, Oh Play, Oh Academy, Oh Mail, Oh Net, Oh Trim, and now Oh Connect, connecting the entire world in an instant. And now the product is in the market. And I said, I am going to make sure that I spread the word out, because I have been blessed with so much in Unpassive by Mr. Ash Mufareh. I am going to bless others too. And so I am going to be going around sharing this with people so that they too can be blessed. We cannot afford to keep this kind of blessing to ourselves. You know, we have to share it to the world. Children of the world are bleeding. Young men and women are bleeding. Some are still at the point where I was, without an education because of the agenda. And so it is my determination that I will do it or I will die. Just like our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh, says, DD, do it or die. Excuse me. That I will share. That together, through one global movement, we will reach at least 1.7 billion young men and women and children and families all over the world. Why not even more and more? Because we have been blessed and highly favored with Unpassive, and something that has never been done in the world. It has been done to us, to me, raising me from grass to grace. It's something that I will never forget. And I thank the Almighty God for bringing Mr. Ash Mufareh our way. Mr. Ash Mufareh is God sent with his family. I am so grateful, and I love the parents that gave birth to him. God sends each and every one of us on this earth for a reason, for a purpose. What is your purpose? My purpose is to give the same education that almost an entire village came together to give it to me. They gave it to me out of nothing, out of scratch. I am determined to give it to others through whatever means that I can. And building a good home for my mother, which is one thing that we suffered from, not by choice, but by the choice of my father, who demolished my mother's home and rendered my mother homeless with her children, and forcefully took my mother and even raped my mother and impregnated my mother with me. And I am here today. I am determined to do those things for others, because there are still a lot of children in the world going through a lot of difficulties. Still a lot. And I have been given the opportunity to do that, and I am going to do it for the rest of my life. And thank you so much, Mr. Ashmo Farah. I'm happy today because Engineer Sashanta invited me to speak on his webinar. I did. Then I met with Mr. Jeffrey Moloch. And these two titans, these two pillars, accepted to attend One Global Movement with me today, with others. And we attended. What they said today, it has been written into the minds and brains of me first, my family, my 9 children, 1 biological, 9 adopted, my mother, my family, and all of us who attended it today. The children of the world will forever sing their names. Mr. Jeffrey Moloch, Engineer Sashanta, the children of the world will forever hold your names on their lips, and they will dance your name all over the world. I'm glad that you guys are going to be the mentors of One Global Movement, directing me and leading me towards the best way possible to reach out to these children, and also holding me accountable so that I choose the best resources that we can use to teach these children all over the world. I love you all. I love you both so much, and I love all the One Global Movement team and everybody that signs up to watch us. Like, share, and subscribe so that through social media we can reach to all corners of the globe with our message, with our action, with our love, with our entire being. Thank you guys so much, and I love you all. Bye-bye.